Hello everyone. Welcome to Literary Animator, a place where you study, we animate. Before we start, I want to inform you all that this novel is briefly explained in English. If you guys need Hindi explanation or chapter-wise explanation, please let me know. I will create a video as soon as possible. Have a look at the characters list. Although there are many more characters in the novel, the summary covers only the following characters. Lieutenant Frederic Henry, the novel's narrator and protagonist. Catherine Barkley, an English nurse's assistant who falls in love with Henry. Rinaldi, closest friend of Henry and a surgeon in the Italian army. Miss Van Campen, the superintendent of nurses at the American hospital where Catherine works. Let's start the summary. The setting of the novel is era of World War I. Lieutenant Frederic Henry is a young American ambulance driver serving in the Italian army. The war is ending as winter approaches at the beginning of the novel, and Henry plans a trip to Italy. Henry encounters Catherine Barkley, an English nurse's assistant at the neighboring British hospital and the love interest of his comrade Rinaldi, the following spring after his return to the front. Rinaldi, on the other hand, quickly vanishes from the picture as Catherine and Henry engage in an intense game of seduction. Catherine, who has recently lost her fiancé, craves love so much that she will settle for the illusion of it. Her false love awakens in Henry, who has become coldly disconnected and insensitive as a result of the war, a craving for emotional engagement. When Henry is injured on the battlefield, he is sent to a hospital in Milan to be treated. Several physicians advise him to stay in bed for 6 months before undergoing the essential knee surgery. Unable to tolerate such a lengthy recuperation period, Henry seeks out a daring, garrulous surgeon named Dr. Valentini, who promises to operate immediately. Henry is relieved to find that Catherine has been relocated to Milan, and he begins his recovery under her care. His bond with Catherine deepens over the next few months. Their love becomes forceful and real, no longer just a game in which they exchange meaningless promises and frivolous kisses. Henry and Catherine grow entangled in their love for one another as the borders between contrived and actual feelings begin to blur. When Henry's injured leg heals, the army offers him 3 weeks of recovery period leave before returning to the front. He attempts to arrange a trip with Catherine, who informs him that she is pregnant. The next day, Henry is diagnosed with jaundice, and the hospital's supervisor, Miss Van Campen, accuses him of inflicting the sickness on himself through excessive drinking. Miss Van Campen, believing Henry's illness is an attempt to dodge his duty as a serviceman, gets Henry's leave cancelled, and he is dispatched to the front once the jaundice has cleared. Catherine and Henry promise their mutual loyalty as they split. Henry heads to the front, where the Italians are losing terrain and personnel on a regular basis. A bombardment begins soon after Henry arrives. When the Allies learn that German soldiers have broken through the Italian lines, they prepare to flee. Henry takes his ambulance crew into the massive line of evacuated troops. On their journey, the guys pick up 2 engineering sergeants and 2 scared young girls. After that, Henry and his drivers decide to abandon the column and use side routes, which they believe would travel faster. When one of their cars becomes stuck in the mud, Henry instructs the 2 engineers to assist in the recovery attempt. When they object, he shoots one of them. The drivers continue in the other trucks until they become stranded once more. They send the little girls go and walk towards Udine. As they march, one of the drivers is killed by the Italian army's scared rear guard. While Henry and the surviving driver seek sanctuary at a farmhouse, another driver marches off to surrender. When they return to the retreat the next day, anarchy has broken out. Troops, enraged by the Italian loss, drag commanding officers from the middle of the crowd and kill them on the spot. The battle police capture Henry, who breaks free and falls into the river. Henry boarded a train going for Milan after swimming a safe distance downstream. He hides behind a blanket that covers stacked weaponry, believing that his duties to the war effort are over and fantasizing about his reunion with Catherine. In the town of Stresa, Henry reunites with Catherine. From there, the two row all night on a tiny rented boat to safety in Switzerland. They settle peacefully in Montreux, a lovely alpine town, and vow to put the conflict behind them for good. Despite Henry's feelings of remorse for abandoning the troops on the front lines, the two live a wonderful, quiet existence. When spring approaches, the couple relocates to Lausanne to be closer to the hospital. Catherine goes into labor early one morning. The birth is both painful and complex. Catherine gives birth to a stillborn baby boy and subsequently dies of a hemorrhage. Henry remains at her side till she dies. He tries but fails to say farewell. In the rain, he walks back to his hotel. Thank you everyone. I hope you all liked my explanation. See you in next video.